All right, so welcome back. I'm surprised you guys actually stuck around for episode 3 of the Habibi Show. I am Hector Garcia with yours truly, the Habibi.
Samer Nassar.
It is episode 3, Habibi.
I'm so excited.
Can you believe it? We made it this far?
It's like a dream come true.
It is, but
Really.
we
Thank
made it.
you.
We made it this far. We haven't got censored.
We lost so many friends already.
I've been blocked. I had 1,500 friends on Facebook. It's now down to 50. So we're doing something right.
We're going the right direction.
Right.
Eventually, it's going to be the two of us and Justin.
And by the way, props to our boy in our
Thank you,
production, Justin, for our producer. You'll be hearing us refer to him quite a bit. But Justin behind the scenes is our producer. Done quite a great job these first 2 episodes.
Thank you, Justin.
Yes. And then, of course, again, you guys are listening. You're watching us. I saw there's been hundreds of people that's already been tuning in.
I know.
The stats, people are tuning in. So the numbers continue to grow. So if you're watching, you're subscribed. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Habibi Show. So this week is episode 3. We want to talk about your Liverpool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Experience.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We're also going to be talking about the some regrets that we have in business. And there's a lot. There's a lot.
Business or life?
Let's talk about business, because I think life, that's
Life
a whole,
would
that's
be
a
so
100.
That would be very
It's called the
sad.
Suicide Show. That's a whole nother episode.
It needs some country music.
Right. No, let's talk about your Liverpool. You just got back. What day?
I got back Tuesday. What is today?
Today's Monday.
Monday. Okay, so it was last Tuesday I got back. It was an amazing trip, really. I mean, it went by so fast. I was there for about a week.
Yeah.
Or maybe 8 days, but it went by so fast. It was like a dream come true. Being in London, which I've been there.
And you were there for a few days.
Last time I was in London was like maybe 10, 12 years ago. But it was under different circumstances. It wasn't like about game or fun. It was just something.
Okay.
And
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that would be part of the life regrets. So, but and then went to Liverpool
For the soccer game,
yeah,
soccer
took
match.
the train, which I've never taken a train in England before. Train was amazing, really. And went to Liverpool, which is a port. It was amazing, really.
Yeah,
I loved Liverpool. Like, I really want to go stay a few more days.
In Liverpool.
Yes.
And what's the size of Liverpool? It's like
It's probably like maybe the size of, I don't know, but it's not very big.
Right.
It didn't seem congested at all.
Right.
So there was no like rush hour. People were so friendly. It's like country. It was a country feel. I mean, obviously the Beatles.
Yeah. How do you like the food over there? Do you eat fish and chips? That's popular? Right?
I tried, but I was I was more attracted to Indian food.
Well,
I mean, apparently in England, London, Liverpool, Indian food is really, really popular.
right.
And but no, I didn't. There was a fish and chips place, more like fast food.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want to do that.
So fish
No,
and
but
chips.
some of the restaurants were amazing.
Okay.
Some restaurants, but most, and I had some videos on Instagram from the pubs.
Right.
People were so friendly.
And they drink all the time there, don't they?
They drink. They get drunk. Boys, girls.
Yeah.
After a while, everybody's hugging and singing, and it's you
quite an
feel like
experience.
there is no. They don't have any ill feelings about anybody.
Right.
So
I mean, you're a international man of mystery. So-
it's not a mystery anymore. It's on the third episode of. Now everybody knows what I'm doing. I'm pissing off some people.
Hammer Powers over there. But obviously you met some interesting people. I'm sure.
Yes. There was a lot of people from America, from Canada that just flew to see the game. I went to see the Liverpool and Manchester City game. Look, I love soccer, but I can tell you this: I did not really pay much attention to the game because the whole thing was overwhelming.
Right.
Like the stadium, and I hope maybe we can put a
video,
picture
yes,
of the
we can,
stadium.
yes.
The stadium, it's so manicured to be like so. Like I feel like the players were floating on the grass from how beautiful the grass was.
Wow.
And the colors, the flags, the people, the singing. So I really got so distracted by trying to absorb
So
anything.
did you just figure out who won or who lost?
Well, every time they sing and I missed the goal, and I was like sitting there, like, man, when I'm at home, I don't miss a play.
Yeah.
But but for sure, I will go again. But you're coming with me.
Yes.
You're coming with
I'll
me.
definitely go next time.
Yes, and they
If
don't
people
speak
let me.
Spanish. They don't speak Spanish.
They don't.
So you're gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
that's perfect.
No, but
Yeah.
it was really amazing experience. People, even the police officer. I don't know if I didn't think I sent you a picture. There was a police officer.
No, you
a
sent me another
girl-
picture. I didn't.
No, with the handcuffs? No, that was for fun. No, but no, there was the police officer, a lady. She was so cute, and I was like, and they looked very serious. So I walked up to her and said, I am so sorry, but you're like the prettiest police officer I've ever seen. And then she started laughing, and the other police officer, the other guy, he was so friendly, said, hey, would you like me to take your picture together? Look, she's blushing. I mean, we had a great time with these police officers.
Right.
No, it was a trip of a lifetime from everything. Two things I wish it was different. The weather, it was cold and
I
windy
hate
and
that.
rainy.
I can't stand cold weather.
You can't hide from
cold weather.
wind, really. You know, if it's just cold and sunny, okay, but it was windy.
Windy, yeah.
And the jet lag. I mean, the difference in time, like at 3 o'clock in the morning over there, it's 5 p.m. here. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to have lunch. So,
Right.
And then by 8 in the morning, I'm very tired because that's like 2 or 3 in the morning here.
Right.
But beside that, really, it was,
How long did it take you to when you landed off jet lag? How long did it take you to get out of that your system?
I never got used to it.
Never got used to it.
No, but I did that on purpose.
Were you
knowing
tired
that
the
I'm
whole
coming
time?
back. Well, I mean, a couple of vodka, a couple of gin.
Catches you up pretty quick.
Coffee. I drank so much coffee. I don't normally drink that much coffee. But no, I didn't want to miss a moment.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I thought of you.
I'm sure.
I had chilaquiles.
No,
I
you
did
didn't.
not.
Chilaquiles.
Not in England. No,
They serve those big old bratwursts. Those things.
I think that's Germany. Yeah. No, but they have like eggs and muffins and beans.
Oh, beans. That's right.
Eat
They do
beans
beans
in the
for
morning.
breakfast.
Yes. It didn't smell very good.
It doesn't sound good.
It was good.
Well, I mean, I guess we have beans in Mexican culture. We have beans for breakfast. But
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
You
the
never had
beans I eat
in
is
chilaquiles.
sweet.
You have beans in it.
I didn't know.
Yeah, or do you have beans on the side? But
I thought there was Mexican oysters. I didn't know. No, but actually, one interesting thing happened. Well, but this is one thing that I was really surprised. I was in an area called Soho. I'm sure if somebody
I've heard about it.
Yeah, London, these
York,
different areas like Piccadilly, Trafalgar Square, and Soho is an area that was really bad, and it has been like updated, and it's really a big tourist area. So it was like 2 in the morning, and I'm sitting by outside a Turkish. They love Turkish restaurants or fast food restaurant. Turkish doner. Are you familiar with what's a doner?
No.
Not doner. Doner is like a Turkish food, and it became German.
Is it kind of like that place we went to last time in the Galleria on Post Oak?
Huh?
Was that is it a Turkish restaurant we went to?
Yeah.
What was
Did
that?
we?
What was that food we ate? What was that?
We did. You and I went?
We did. We went,
Turkish restaurant?
We went to some restaurant, and I thought it was Turkish.
I have no idea. That was not me.
That was Habibi. That was you.
I know
Yes.
So I'm standing there
Yes.
in Soho, which is like bars and bars and bars, very tourist area. And I was wearing a long coat with big pockets because, and I had my phone there. And all of a sudden, I feel a hand inside my pocket.
Uh-oh.
Did I tell you?
You did not tell me that story.
I felt like very light feeling of a hand in my pocket, but he did not know that I was a karate champion.
Oh, okay.
So involuntarily, I just all the karate I learned came back.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I was a 4th degree black belt, just
Nice.
in case somebody needs to hire a bodyguard.
Bruce Lee.
No, Sammerly.
Sammerly.
So I just grabbed his hand, and involuntarily I turned around with the other hand and punched him in the face. So hard.
Really?
I didn't know who was behind me.
This really.
Yes, there was somebody behind me. I didn't know what they're doing, but I grabbed his hand.
You turned around and popped him right in the face.
Absolutely. I didn't know who was behind me. I just went like this.
That poor lady. She was 80 years old.
Yeah, but she was trying to steal my phone. No, it was 2 young kids.
Really?
They were like in their 20s, And of course, it was like a surprise to them.
That you actually fought back.
That I grabbed, he's trying to get away, and I held his hand and I hit him.
Good job.
And he just ran away, and everybody's like, whoa, what just happened? Usually people, just don't react that way, I guess. But it was, and then you find out that this happens a lot. So if anybody go into those tourist areas in Soho or any other, because I found out that it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Just make sure you put your phone in the front pocket. Make sure you put your wallet inside your jacket or in the front.
Yeah, I
just
put
keep
my wallet
it in front
and
of
stuff
you.
in the front pocket. I never put
It's just not comfortable. But that's what I did since I was there. But it was exciting. Adrenaline was, and the Turkish restaurant gave me the food for free. They said, "Oh, no problem, you can have it for free." And so it was really nice.
It's probably one of the relatives.
No. So, from now on, let's plan to do this everywhere we go. We'll get free food. Like we get Justin.
What's Justin a pickpocket? And you act like you slap him.
Yeah, we'll act like slap him. No, it was an amazing trip, really. I'm so glad I did it. I can't wait.
Did you get homesick, though? Were you ready to come home? Or?
I was ready to go to my Houston.
Yes.
The hot. I kept imagining hot weather. No, Houston. I was ready to go, even though it was not too far from Egypt. But no, I was really looking forward to come back to Houston. Right. The weather, the friends, the family. But I will definitely go again.
Yeah, and along the way, while you're there, of course, you talked to quite a few.
Yes, and I did some live interviews, and he was making fun of me, saying, "Hold the phone vertically." And, dude, I knew what I'm doing.
You had the phone like this.
And I
was
know.
Like, no, you were doing a live broadcast, and you were like this with the phone. You were like this, and I was like, and for me, I'm like this.
I know.
I'm trying to watch it.
I'm learning. I'm sorry. Thank you for teaching me the secrets of the business. But no, it was really, really nice. I was really.
But who won the game?
1-1. They tied.
They tied. Okay.
Yeah, but I was really, really happily surprised and impressed by how friendly the British people are.
Even in London.
Even in London.
Really?
Even in London. I mean, they are
Can
not
you talk English?
Who, me?
You, yeah. Can you talk in English, proper English?
I found myself saying.
What do you call that?
British.
You call it British?
I think so.
Is this if you're from?
Are you asking me if I can speak English? What am I doing now? Justin, do you understand what I'm saying?
In my life, but
do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Más o menos.
No, but if somebody's from England, do you ask them, do you speak British or do they speak English?
I mean, they were asking me if I spoke English. I didn't ask anybody if they speak English. No, but I tell you what, Liverpool, I did not understand a word.
Because
like I kept saying, I'm
English
sorry. I was
accent.
like,
Is there
I was
English?
like,
what do you
British accent.
British
accent.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, British accent.
Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment below. Is it British or English?
It is a British
accent.
accent.
Okay, your British accent.
Yeah, and they don't say Liverpool, they say Liverpool.
Liverpool.
So I was
Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah. And I was talking to the cab driver, and we're talking, and he said something. I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He said, "I said, I am so sorry," because I really couldn't even figure it out. Finally, I said, "Just say it slow." He said, "I'm just saying good morning." I was like, "What? This is good morning? Okay." But I tell you something else too. If you're going to London or England, but especially London, make sure when you exchange dollars to go to more than one place. Because to more than one place to change to dollars, to sterling pounds. Because I went to one. Okay, I give them like $1,000. They give me 560 pounds. I was like, wow, that's great. And next door, I said, well, let me go ask. It was going to give me 760, 200 pounds more.
Wow.
So if you go, just go to more than one, at least go to 3 places. Ask, how much is that?
That doesn't sound too friendly.
Well, okay. The one that gave me $200 less was not British. I'm not gonna say the nationality because I don't want anybody to get sensitive. But it was like Becker's, you know. I don't know if anybody heard me saying that, but
that sounded British.
But really, and he was so friendly.
It sounded British.
He was so friendly, and I was like trusting him.
Yeah.
And I said, "True, yeah." And right next door, it was 200 pounds extra.
Wow.
So, but in any case, just go to more than at least 3. and they're all next to each other, and say, how much is $1,000? And they'll tell you.
Okay, what's the best thing that happened there?
The game. I mean, being at the game, not the actual game, but seeing the families' traditions.
Right.
Like I saw some guy like 80 years old
with the kids,
taking his great grandson who was like 5-6 years old, and he's telling him about all these players and what used to be on that land.
Yes.
It's just the
That's
family
how I feel
tradition.
when I take my kids to the Energy Stadium, when I see the Astrodome
Exactly.
next door. And the Astrodome, I talk to my boys and say, hey, I used to go to watch the Oilers, the Astros, and that stadium.
So going to Liverpool is a very old city. And you see like traditions, they're like diehard fans just because it's Liverpool.
Right.
It's their town.
Yeah.
No, I was really impressed.
Well, good, brother. I'm glad you're back. Now we get back to our podcast.
Yes.
And we'll show some videos too as well in the podcast for your Liverpool experience.
Yes, especially that there was a little kid that I talked to him.
Yeah.
And he was with his dad. And then I was so touched that this tradition. And then I find out that they're from Texas. They were from Houston, and I thought they were like British, but they were from San Antonio. I was like, dude, what? No, but it was really cool.
Of all the people you've interviewed, Americans.
Did you see the people from Malta? I did.
I don't remember.
And then there was the youngest fan. He was 2 weeks old.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
There was a couple of lives there. I don't remember, and I don't remember which one you.
No, it was messed up. It was like vertical, horizontal.
I was like,
I didn't know how to do this.
I was getting a little dizzy.
Dude, I was cold. It was very cold. I was freezing.
You were doing.
I apologize for my friend's behavior.
No, well, I'm glad you're back.
We
get back into our podcast and get back into the podcast and
into the serious
stuff. Okay, so you are here and you're watching. Whether you're in Houston, Texas, or you're in San Antonio. If you're in London, and you're looking for a top of the line transportation company that's going to get you from point A to point B, whether it's going to a business meeting or a conference, do not call Uber. Don't call Uber. Don't do it.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Don't call Uber. I mean, a lot of crazy things happen with Uber drivers or ride shares. And don't call a taxi. They'll just, I'm not to knock the guys who are working in taxi cab drivers, but man, there is a great company out there, and that company is Excelsior Transportation. They've been serving Houston since 1992. And they're phenomenal. I personally use Excelsior Transportation. I will tell you that I will put my own kids by themselves in a Excelsior Transportation car to get a point A to point B if my wife or somebody can't get them out for some reason. But I've done that before, actually. Yeah. I've taken Excelsior to drop my kids off somewhere.
We still don't know where they are.
They're missing somewhere. but they are highly trusted. Look at their Google reviews; they're incredible. Sammer has done a phenomenal job in building that empire there.
And Anis too, my ex-business partner.
And Anis really. As well has
he's
done.
He's retired now in Mexico.
Yes, he's living the dream there in Mexico. But if you're looking for a transportation company, one that's going to get you from point A to point B in class, in style, and safe, go to excelsiorlimo.com and they will take care of you. One of the things that we wanted to talk about in today's show or today's episode, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to us and business owners that listen to us, or people who are looking to get into entrepreneurs, and there's a lot to learn from us. A lot to learn from me because as far as I make a lot of mistakes.
Yes, or Justin, some good decisions too.
Justin, as disappointing as it sounds, who's been my employee for 7 years, I make a lot of mistakes. That's shocking.
Illegal. That's illegal. You were like, what, 13?
No, Justin's 30.
He can only work 2 hours.
He's 30
week.
Though.
Huh?
He's 30.
No way.
Yeah. He's 30 years old.
He looked 33.
He's a
no, he looks younger.
Dirty 30. But no, Justin's 30 years old. He's been with us for 7 years. And,
yes.
But
loyalty is so valuable in business.
It's rare.
Yes.
It's so rare.
It's either loyalty or desperation. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Right.
It's both.
Very
desperately loyal.
I had a situation that came about last week. And I was going to ask you for advice, and now that we have this show, and maybe this is the platform to do it. And because, I've in my business, I've come across a lot of people and developed a lot of friendships, close friendships, and people that I would consider either some brothers, some sisters, and some mentors. About a year ago, I had a close friend of mine hire us to help them market their business. I won't mention any names or anything like that, but help market their business. Well, the problem with marketing, and I run a marketing business and a marketing agency, and I've been doing this for marketing for 25 years, and I've ran this company for 12 years. In the last 5-7 years, marketing has kind of exploded in terms of everybody thinks that marketing is the cool thing to do. Everybody thinks they're the marketing experts. And that's kind of like everybody wants to start a marketing business. Either they run around with the camera and they think they're the marketing genius. And so we've dealt with that over the last 12 years in running businesses that, we've not only Hector has it established of all these years of experience, but now we also have all these newbies who think they know it all. Now, some of them probably are pretty legit. You're going to have out of 100, you're going to have a handful. Yeah, they have fresh ideas.
Yeah.
However, my friend met some other guy at some conference about 4 or 5 months ago, and this youngster decided that I guess came out, spit out all this stuff, and to put in his ear and his mind, and so my friend, decided that he was gonna part ways with us and no longer work with us, and I had no problem with that. I'd rather a friend move on, and I was okay with a friend kind of moving on and going to another, no marketing agency, and you're gonna say, okay, you don't feel like we're valued to you. That's fine. There's a mutual thing there that I had. That's okay. I completely respect that. We're not gonna be the best for everybody. And so last week I was at a business meeting, and during that time, one of my staff members texted me saying that they were in a conference call with my friend and that new guy, the new marketing genius that this guy had hired. Not even local. This guy's in another state. And this guy was telling my employee, saying that we were trying to screw them over in the process of the. And so, and my friend is also on the Zoom call. And so I was pretty upset. I was obviously very disappointed when I was like, the fact that, okay, I had no problem with the friend moving on, and it was a client, move on, fine, that's fine, that happens. You win some, you lose some, that happens, part of life. And so the friend, I told my staff member, hey, put me onto that Zoom call, because that's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah.
Even if it's not even a friend, I don't have clients that come to us and walk away feeling that they've gotten screwed over. And if that's the case, I want to set the record straight. And why do you think that's that?
You want to learn.
I want to learn. I say, why do you feel that way? So, anyways, this staff member puts me in the Zoom call. I left the meeting, got into my car, and got in a Zoom call. And I said, hey, there was I guess some confusion or some type of understanding that you guys need to understand that we're trying to screw you guys over. And of course, Mr. Know-It-All, the marketing expert, comes in and says, well, yeah, and I said, hey, listen, this is our process. This is what it's been for years. And this is the way it is. It's optional. You don't have to take it. Nobody's taking it. And I said, if there was, if we wanted to screw you, we would have done it much different ways from this. This is not worth saying that's, whatever, we're screwing you over. Well, my friend decides to jump in that call and says, hey, let's get feelings out the way, but just letting you know, I feel the same way. So I was just quiet, and I hung up. I didn't hang up. I was listening to make sure nothing else, out of line was going out of line in the meeting. And then then my friend called me, and I was already upset because my friend didn't stand. He didn't stand up for me. In fact, he agreed with it, and I thought this was kind of a lousy move by him, right? And I didn't feel that was right. And the fact that I even called him a friend, I was even questioning all that.
Like a stab in the back.
A stab in the back, absolutely. And so he kept blowing my phone up after that, and I wasn't going to answer because I didn't want to say anything further. I don't want to say anything out of line that was going to destroy further that relationship that I had. And I just said, hey, once we're done with this account, once we're all completely offboarded with your account, I want to We'll talk about it then. But until then, let's just leave it as is, and I don't want to deal with it. Well, he texts me later that night saying, hey, I'm sorry about the negative tone. Sorry about the negative tone. And I respond back, it wasn't a negative tone. It was just flat out disrespectful.
Yeah.
Disrespectful to my staff and disrespectful to me and my integrity. So in that case, ever since then, I just kind of like, man, I don't, in that case, in that situation, how would you have handled that situation if a friend came up to you and say, Excelsior Transportation is trying to screw me over, and that's a friend? How would you have handled that, or handled it any differently?
I mean, like privately or
privately?
publicly?
Privately, how should I handle this going forward?
Well, of course, I'm aware of what you did.
Yes.
So that makes it a little bit difficult to come up with other ideas, because I like the way you did it.
Right.
And also I like the way they went on even further with more legal action, and you stood up to it, and I'm very proud of you.
Right.
How would I handle it? I mean, I will distance myself as much as possible, if not totally,
right,
from that kind of personality, that kind of so-called friend.
Right.
And I will really have no regret that I was good to you and you were not good to me. That's on you.
Yeah,
And I was just distancing myself from that situation, and that's it.
And that's the thing is, me and you are both nice people. When you said,
I know
you're a
I'm
whole
nice.
lot more nicer than me.
I know I'm nice.
I feel like in business, because I'm a nice person,
Yes.
that people take advantage of that. Do you get that a lot?
Of course, but not just business life,
Yeah.
Relationship, even within the same family. But I've always lived with one idea I learned from my parents, that you do what you think is right. What somebody else does with it, that's on them. Like I remember, and you and I talked about this, my mother used to say, we lived in Alexandria, right across from the Mediterranean, so the waves, everything is related to water and waves.
Right.
And she used to say, when you do something good, it's like you throw it in the water. The waves will take it away. Sometimes it could come back, and most of the time it will never come back.
Right.
If you're doing something nice just to get something back, then it's the wrong intentions. You do it, forget about it, move on. If it comes back, great. If it doesn't, still great.
Yeah.
It's not on you that somebody mistreated you. It's not on you. The only thing that will be on you if you allow them to do it again.
Right.
But
That's
if
good.
it just happens and you learn from it and you give them 100% trust, that's not on you.
Right.
You're you. We cannot change who we are because other people are not good. Then I'm losing myself too. I'm losing who I am.
Right.
So, but it makes you stronger. And I was just talking with somebody yesterday, and I was saying, in life, I learned what's important is not learning what we want, is learning what we don't want.
Right.
Because if you ask anybody now, what do you want in life? They will have a list of 20 million things. But if you ask them, what don't you want? Most likely they have no answer. So I realize we need to learn what we don't want.
Yeah, I don't want drama.
Exactly.
I had enough drama in my life.
Or you try something and it doesn't work. Like for example, you hire someone. Sorry, Justin. I'm sorry. There's gonna be about you. You hire someone and you realize this is not really what you wanted.
Right.
But you see, it's not what you want. It's what you don't want. You will never hire somebody like Justin again.
Right.
Just
an example.
It's just an example, of course.
Yes.
So you will never, it's the same thing with relationship. You date somebody or you marry and then it doesn't work out. And you learn really well what is it that didn't work and what you don't want. Next relationship, as soon as you see a slight resemblance, you're going to run.
Right.
Because that's not what you want. So, at the end of the day, we go from point A to point B, and I'm saying point A when we're born, point E when we're reborn somewhere else.
Right.
At the end of we're all going to get to B, whether we like it or not. We're going to go from A to B or Z. We're all going to get there. The point is, how do you feel about yourself?
Sure.
That's really the biggest, maybe, success. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're a good person?
Yeah.
not what everybody else feels. How do you feel about yourself?
Yeah, well, like this specific friend, so-called friend, on his, he was telling us that they're having some more they have major internal issues at their business. They're not answering the phones. They're not literally. I can see on the call report that they have, out of 10 phone calls, 80% of them are unanswered.
Yes.
So 80% unanswered phone calls.
You still can see that?
Huh?
You still can see the records?
Yes. No, not no more. But I mean, as of today, I can't. But I could during when we're doing marketing for them.
Yes.
And so we were delivering all these leads and getting the phones to ring, and they found an issue that it wasn't the phones. It wasn't nobody answering the phones. I'm like, literally, marketing 101. You don't need some guy in another state, some marketing genius to pay X amount of money it doesn't take a genius to figure out. Answer your damn phones.
Yes.
And that's really it.
Well,
if you can't answer the phones, you have no business marketing.
Well, people look at you and they think it's easy. We make it look easy.
Justin, don't I say that a lot? With market, yes. I said we make it look easy
because you're good at it, you're successful, and you hire people to say, "Oh my God, how much money you're making? I'm making him this money. He's not doing anything.
Absolutely,
I'm gonna do it on my own." They realize it's not that easy.
It's not easy at all. It's not. It's a very difficult. We have we have an old machine here.
Yes.
It's taken years of process, years of mistakes, years of regrets, years of mistakes, a lot of failures to get where we are today. And the thing is, beauty behind all that is that it's a blessing and a curse, is that we make it look easy. Well, and so when they say, well, man, I pay, because our premium rates, by the way, our prices here at Brand Nation to hire us is $5,000 a month. That is our base price, just to pay for us. And, and all that, we're doing SEO, we're doing call tracking, we're doing pay-per-click, we're doing social media.
Yes.
Everything that a client or business needs in marketing, we're providing those services to other businesses.
Yes.
And people also keep in mind that what happens when inflation happens.
That's right.
What happens when there's inflation? Right. People like Justin wants a raise, right? So when people want raises, what happens? Our prices have to go up.
That's right.
If the cost of gasoline goes up, then your prices at Excelsior goes up. So, what was, half the price 4 or 5 years ago is much different today, because everything else has gone up. And the cost of just managing stuff is different. So, when this client went to offboarding, I told, because he was a friend, I had told my staff member, I said, hey, you know what? He gave us 30 days notice. Just don't charge him. Just charge him half for the next 30 days. And let's just call it a day.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. So I'm sitting there. I was in a meeting with another. It was really weird. This is really weird. I was in a meeting with another client, or a new client, a sales meeting. And literally while I'm there, she was a teacher. She started a business. And she was telling me, Hector, I have 2 jobs. I'm a full-time teacher. And then I come to the storefront and I can't afford marketing services, but I need it. And so I said, you know what? We're going to do it for half the price, at least for the first 3 months, just to get you on your feet. We're going to get you going. And I'm not kidding, Sandra. She was bawling, crying.
Yes.
She was in tears, crying. And then literally I got a text from my staff member here at the office, says, this other client thinks you're screwing them over. I'm like, I'm over here. This girl's over crying because you cannot make everybody happy.
Yes. Well, it's not your job to make anybody happy.
Right.
Not even one.
Right.
You just do the right thing. It's going to make some people happy. It's going to not matter. Like I always tell them at the office, if maybe I don't know if that's related or not, but talking about how other people react. Mm-hmm. So I tell them, if I'm gone tomorrow, if I die tomorrow, what do you think is going to happen? Mm. Some people are going to be sad. Yeah. Some people will be actually happy.
Right.
And some it's not going to matter. So life goes on. And you just do you. You do what you believe. Some people would like, some people would not like, some people would not care. And that's it. When you're in business and you're hiring a new employee, or you're renting a new space, or you buying a new software, you want the best. None of that will be out there presented to the public without good marketing. And honestly, I don't know much about how this SEO or ESO or OES.
ET.
No, I know it's like the SEO, the search engine
optimization.
Thank you.
Yes.
Really, within few months from the moment we met with Hector and his staff, within few months, much faster than I thought, we saw our place in Google just going up. We used to be like page 19 or maybe, I don't know. And then within few months, we're in page 3. And then another month, page 2, page 1. And we really saw an increase of like 25 to 30% in our business. We were able to get new accounts that's nationwide, globally, but also we're able to improve our prices,
right?
Because now we have more demand. So having the right fit or the right presentation of who we are, please call Brand Nation. They do an amazing job. Really.
And really, that job was kind of really easy, Habibi, because it was really because of you. You know, you ever seen that picture of Burt Reynolds when he's naked like this? We just put that on the front of the website.
That was Biden. That was not
of course, all the phone calls are coming in, Habibi. So if you want to,
if you want to have a good time,
if you want the Burt Reynolds treatment.
But seriously, Brand Nation, thank you guys, thank you. You brought us up to the year 2020 after we were still operating like if it's 1995, 1996.
You guys
really thank
you. Yeah, you guys when I walked in, you guys are still on typewriters.
We used to send telex and telegrams.
He's the pigeon. But if you want a marketing company, that's what it gets you to today.
Really, yeah.
Let's get you out of the old age and out of the dark ages. Let's get you into the new age.
And it's not only in Houston.
No, you guys are.
They're also in Mexico now. And hopefully sometime soon, like maybe
San Antonio. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you playing in Canada, Europe?
Oh yeah, we're London.
Okay.
London.
Liverpool.
Okay. If you want that international treatment and if you want to be taken care of, call Brand Nation 713-999-4661. If you want to be like Burt Reynolds right here, 713-999-4661. Let's get those phones ringing for you. You know, one thing I think I learned in business too is, and the biggest regrets in business is that I wish in business, even though I love the relationships I have today, I wish that along the way, one of my biggest regrets is not getting so close to people. I think that there is a because sometimes I trust the wrong people.
But how many times you trusted the right people?
Yeah, I think out of honestly, I might have a bad taste, a bad judgment.
No, but you trusted a lot of good people too.
Yes.
Can you imagine if you didn't trust anybody?
Yeah.
That's not going to work either.
Right. No, that's and I've gone through some traumatic experiences here in business as well. But along the way, I've learned that maybe out of the 5 people that I've learned to develop the relationship, 2 of them were excellent, and there were.
You know what, brother? That's not a bad trait.
That's not a bad. You're right. That's good.
If you talk to 5, 2 are great. Mm-hmm. You're very lucky.
Wow.
Because many times you talk to 5 and 0 is good.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 out of 5, that's very good.
Yeah. I mean, what are some situations at Excelsior? I know a few months back, a few weeks back, we were in Cozumel, and you're talking about a situation where an employee, somebody that you had trusted.
Yes. Yeah. This employee, and again, this is something that probably happened to a lot of new business. Mm-hmm. When you're growing so fast, you overlook common sense. You overlook what you believe because you can't handle the demand, and you say it's okay. I know it's not right, but let me do it. So, for example, when we started Excelsior, I'm so glad, thank you God, that we got busy immediately.
Right.
But it was hard to catch up.
Right.
Like they call it the
infrastructure,
growing pains, mm-hmm. right? Which every new business go through.
Yes.
So we really liked the drivers that worked long hours and worked like 20 hours a day because we didn't have enough cars, we didn't have enough drivers. And there was that one driver, his name is Atul. He's no longer he's not in America anyway. But Atul was at the time, I thought that was the perfect driver because we call him anytime during the day. Atul, can you do this? Sure, no problem. And at the time, we did not have like a fleet manager. We're just trying to catch up. So I used to get calls from clients saying, oh, by the way, the AC is not working. So we call Atul, your car. Oh, no, I'll fix it, no problem. To make the long story short, he started also making some inappropriate remarks to one of the secretaries.
Sure.
And this is when we said, no matter how good he is, he needs to go.
Right.
So when we fired him, he told, I wasn't at the office, but my business partner at the time, he told him, I'm going to take you down. And that was it. 3 months later, at the time, I used to answer the phone on the weekend, rotate. One weekend I do, the other weekend my business partner.
Right.
Do. So that was my weekend. I was very lucky, I guess. So on maybe Saturday morning, I get a phone call. I would like to make a reservation. This is so-and-so with this oil and gas company, our biggest account, starting. And after he gave me the information, he said, by the way, what else do you offer? I was like, well, we have vans, we have SUVs, we have limousines. He said, no, what other services do you offer? I said, sir, I'm not really sure what you mean. He said, don't you offer girls? I said, no. He said, well, anyway, let me tell you who I am. I'm the vice president of
ABC
the law department and the legal department. I'm the lawyer for this company. Are you Samir? Which, by the way, my name is Samer, not Samir. I didn't like Samir.
Right.
So anyway, so I knew it's somebody I don't know. And he said, well, I got a letter. I received a letter at home with your name and signature and pornographic pictures saying, please come try Excelsior new service. We provide these best girls. And I was like, what? He said, well, I know you people. That was a long time ago. He said, I know you people. I will make sure you'll be prosecuted and go. My wife and daughter opened that envelope and something clicked. I said, sir, do you think if I want to or solicit this kind of service, I will send you a letter at home? I will just have the driver talk to you in the car.
That's so evil.
So, of course, that was the first call. Guys, I promise you, in this weekend, I received over 200 calls. Most of them were angry. Some of them were like, hey, man, how much? I was like, sir, we don't do that. We don't provide that kind of service. Anyway.
So basically, it was a promotion that you started an escort service.
Exactly. With pictures and my name and signature. And some of them were my business partner name and signature. So that's so far I don't know anything about
that.
Nothing.
Is insane.
Like I'm wondering what happened. So Monday morning, I contacted our attorney, and this is really the reason I'm saying this, because you just have to do what's right.
Yeah.
Do what you know it's right, professional. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you have just to do it. So we contacted our attorney. He wrote a letter because I expected hundreds more calls. He wrote a letter addressing all our clients that this is what's happening, it's investigation, and the name of the FBI agent, the postal police, because as well, and also his name as the attorney for the company to refer all question or any letters you receive, send them to him. Don't open it. Monday morning, I receive a call from the procurement manager for that biggest oil and gas company in the world that's here in Houston and downtown. So anyway, he said, and this was like maybe in the first year of our business, very crucial time to grow.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want bad negativity or bad reputation. So he said, the president of this company, he wants to see you right now immediately because he also received a letter and you guys are in trouble. We're going to make sure to prosecute you. But he wants to talk to you. I was like, okay. So I went to their office. This guy that called me procurement manager, he passed away. He was really a nice guy. Okay. Later on, we became friends. But he wouldn't even shake my hands.
Wow.
And I was walking to the second floor, and I can see people looking at me like I'm disgusted.
Right.
I'm disgusted.
Because only that, you could have brought so much drama to their business.
Of course. And also, I'm dirty. I'm promoting prostitution and
escort services.
Yes. So they were looking at me like I'm something really dirty. I can feel it.
Sure.
And anyway, I walked outside the door, the office for the president. And the president of the company is a big, big deal, by the way.
That is,
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I have to say his name because he was an angel. His name was John Aickett.
Okay.
So, Mr. Aickett, this is like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
He came out and he said, Sam, or my friend, because I used to drive him. So he knew me. He said, my friend, did you just fire someone? I was like, yes. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I've been shot at before. And he came and hugged me.
Well, that's coming soon next to me.
And he hugged me.
Justin,
he put his arms around my neck. And he called the attorney that called me. He said, I know you people. He said, come here.
Yeah.
This is my friend. If he goes to court, you're going to go with him to defend him. And we, as a company, we're going to stand by him.
Wow.
Hector, I promise you, I was going to cry, honestly, because I felt this is the end of our business.
Yeah.
We're just starting. This is the biggest account we were trying to acquire. The business tripled after this incident because now the news traveled really fast that the president of the company is friends with Excelsior. So even the ones that were not using us start using us.
Wow.
The moral of the story, do what's right. You never know what happened. Another story, though, I was also, at the time I was driving, and it was another company, and this is all new stuff. It's very important to show who you are or how good your company is. So anyway, due to some error, the reservation was put on a date, and it was supposed to be the date before. So Sunday afternoon, I was going home, tired, hot, and I was like, that's it. And then my business partner at the time called me and said, hey, did you pick up Mr. James Muir? I love you, James. So he said, did you pick up Mr. Muir? He was the first one to use it from that account. And he was like a guinea pig to try this new company. And I said, well, it was for Monday. He said, no, it was for Sunday. I guess somebody made a mistake. We don't know who. So I went to him. I was 30 minutes late. Or behind the time. It was 2 o'clock. I was there at 2:30. Briar Forest and Highway 6 in that area. I would never forget it. This was like 31 years ago. And I went and I was sweating. It's hot and I'm embarrassed. The guy had the loudest voice I've ever heard in my life. And he was yelling, you guys are idiot. I should have never tried you. Leave. I'm not letting you take me to the airport. His wife finally said, hey, listen, he's here. Let him take. He yelled at me. From that location all the way to Intercontinental, about 40 minutes, yelling at me. And all I'm saying, sir, I am so sorry. I will find out what happened. But right now, I just want to get you to your destination safe and as fast as possible, but safe. He yelled at me so loud, you idiot. I'm going to make sure you'll never get another reservation. I go to the airport. I was so, of course, shook up. So I parked the car in front of Terminal C, and I run outside, and he was trying to pay. I said, no, don't pay me. It's okay. And I ran outside to open the door. Apparently, from being so nervous, I put the car on reverse instead of park. So now I get out of the car is driving by itself. Okay. The car driving by itself. The guy inside the car screaming, you're gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. You guys are idiots. And then the car stopped because it hit the car behind it. So the whole thing was just a fiasco. At that moment, I looked up and I said, God, if I'm not meant to be in this business, I totally get it. Just don't let me be humiliated like that. Yeah. Prior to this, I had a very good job. I was the regional director of sales for a big hotel chain. Right. So, and I go to him and I said, sir, if I were you, I would never use this again. This is really horrible service.
No shit, I ain't.
The guy hugged me. And he said, son, I am so sorry. I made you so nervous. I yelled at you for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. I will not say a word when I go back to the office. You did good by not complaining, by not arguing with me when I was angry. And you drove safe. So I'm going to give you one more chance. But don't you ever be fucking late for me again.
And
he stayed with us, and we got the whole account because of him. And the years go by. The guy retired and come work for us. Because he retired, he said, so again, one more time. Don't panic when something bad happens.
Yes.
Don't panic because bad things will happen in business. Don't panic.
That's definitely a surety.
Follow, if there is a procedure, follow it. Do the right thing.
Right.
Don't come up like when somebody is angry telling you, you were late. Even if you're not late, don't argue. At that moment, it's not going to be good to argue with the guy and say, well, sir, maybe your secretary messed up. And that's, by the way, that's what ended up to be the case.
Right.
But it's not the right time. Just shut up. Say, I'm sorry. I'll find out what happened. Don't give excuses. Don't lie. Don't make up stories. Just shut up. Shut up is the best policy at that moment. And when you have all the facts, you can go back and when everybody... So these are two stories I always share in our meetings just to let people know, look, you're going to make mistakes.
Right.
And some of it is out of your control. Some of it is because of what you did.
That's
just apologize and fix it.
No, that's inspiring. The story of the guy. I mean, both stories, but the guy who's trying to sabotage your business and sabotage everything you've.
Oh well, the police went to his apartment.
Right.
He was gone. He mailed over 600 letters from Intercontinental Airport as he was leaving the country. So
that is insane.
Yeah, because as a driver, he had the people's addresses.
Right.
But also the other thing. Oh, I'm glad would say that. The other thing I learned too, when you have an employee that wants to work that much, it's not a good idea. Mm-hmm. It's a red flag.
Why is that a red flag?
Because life must balance. If you take Justin and make him work 12, 15 hours every day.
He barely comes in an hour a week. He's just
well, that's why he looks very creative and rested. He's doing a great job because only 1 hour a week. No, but you know what I mean? When you start a business, sometimes that growing pain or you're trying to meet the demands and you put so much pressure on everybody. Temporary is fine. Yeah. But if that's going to be your style to make people work too much, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Life must balance. That employee must go home and have a life.
Sure.
That employee must go home and enjoy their paycheck. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to work him to death and they cannot even enjoy their paycheck,
right. That's good.
He's not going to be a good employee.
Well, yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean?
But I've had situations where I took employees to Cozumel and go on workations, and I feel like I got burned in those situations, and where I was
that's
maybe
on
too
them.
Good. Right.
Okay. You took so many of them appreciated.
Yes.
Justin is silly. Did you go
Justin?
to Cozumel?
He's gone twice to them once.
Was that a good thing for you to go? Right. Yeah. So. He can't speak English. He just, but we just do signs. But was that good?
He did this to me.
So, yes. but like I always know that when you grow in a business, you think the one that's going to work the most is the best employee. That's not true. Life must balance.
That's true.
You must force people to take their vacations.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them overworked. Even if they're putting pressure on you, I need to make more money. And the other thing, too, for the business, don't take it personal. Mm-hmm. We had a driver that, like any small businesses, you become more like a banker for the employee. They say, I need an advance. And any small business go through that. I don't know if you go through that. Yes. The electricity, the water, my wife is sick, my husband is sick.
I've had the rent part, I had the car payment part.
And if you do it, you do it. If you have a policy not to do it, then just don't do it. But that specific driver, we helped him a lot as a company. He had a child custody case with his ex-wife that a lot of money, and we stood by him, and there was no problem or no rush for him to pay back. Anyway, a year later or two, actually his dad came and worked with us, and his brother came and worked with us. So I think, I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, because now he has his own company. But anyway, so I think we did the right thing for him as a human being and as a good employee.
Sure.
Because he was a very good driver.
Right.
Took very good care of the car, took good
care
of the employees.
I had an employee a year ago that I loaned $8,000 because his car was in, $5,000. Let me get that record straight. $5,000 because his car was repoed.
Huh.
And I gave him $5,000. He ended up quitting 4 weeks after I gave him that.
Did he get his car back?
He got his car back. Did I get my money back?
No, you should go repo the car.
But anyways, that'll do it for today's show. Any last words, Semmer?
This is a great. I feel like when I come here, I meet anybody who's watching. I'm talking to my friends and family, and just being great being with you guys.
No, likewise. I love this. This is like my therapy session.
It is really,
right?
yes.
It's my therapeutic session with Samar, and you guys will get to see it live. Unfortunately for Justin, he has to deal with it live.
He was falling asleep.
Yeah, he was.
He kept going like this. I don't know if there's a helicopter coming.
Or he was doing this. He threw the middle finger at me, and then he just called me crazy.
I thought he was saying you're number one.
But that'll do it for this week's show. Thank you for watching or listening to the Habibi Show. And again, if you're,
I want to look at this camera.
Yeah, look at this camera right here, Habibi.
Oh, okay.
If you're in business, looking to start in business, leave a comment below. Leave some comments, or ask questions. I would love to hear your feedback. We'd love to hear your feedback, and maybe we'll answer it next week.
Maybe we'll learn from you.
Yes. But this is the Habibi Show. Thank you, guys. Stay blessed. Habibi, you want to end it?
Love you all. Can't wait till next week to meet again.
God bless.
Thank you.